hello. And to see why my desktop capture thing isn't working. What about that one? Oh, there it goes. That's the web overlay. Oh, okay, I think I see what I did wrong here. Alright, there we go. That over that. And there's me. Okay, we'll do that for now. Okay, so all right, here we go with the live. I'm really curious to see what they have to say. You know, in most of the games, I've always either played a melee or mainly a tank build.
And welcome
So on top of that, I want to see what else they have.
January development update. It's our first stream of the year. We hope that everyone
January.
is safe.
It's
and well.
January.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That is very crazy. I was just talking with you the other day actually about how it feels so long since we've had a live stream.
Yes, it has been.
Ooh, maybe I should post this up now too, huh?
So we have like a little bit of a situation whenever it's December and November, it's like everything's so fast and they're back to back. And then when it gets around the time for January, everything feels super long because we don't have our stream.
I know. I was missing our live stream. It was making me sad. I went like the week beyond the normal cadence for me, and I was just like, something feels off.
Well, now you're back, and everyone gets to see our faces. But that's not why you're here. You want to see the tank. You want to see some tanking and some spanking. So we'll definitely be showing you some of that.
We'd like to thank everyone actually for tuning in.
I had that for the outro.
Oh no!
I actually said it in the chat. I was like, "Thanks for joining us." But of course, you know, as a reminder, like we're here again. I'm Margaret Crone. I'm your director of communications. I got a title upgrade, achievement unlocked. And then, of course, with me, as always, is Stephen Sharif, our creative director. I hope you're doing well. You've missed everybody. Well. They've missed you.
I know. Yeah, I've been doing great. It's been a crazy month, actually. We've gotten a lot, you know, this has probably been our most productive January I think we've ever had as a company.
Oh, really now? That's good to hear.
Happened a lot.
I know.
For me especially, I'm just like, it's...
usually sometimes for studios it can take a week to get back in the saddle again, but I feel like we hit the ground running. January
Day one
3rd.
was like, let's go.
Yes.
But I think everyone was refreshed. We got a lot of cool stuff to show off, and of course we're working on a lot of stuff that you're not going to see today too, but you'll be seeing in the future, and we'll give a little teasers of some stuff that's coming up. But of course, To remind you of what you're going to see today, we are going to go through some quick reminders. They're super quick. And then we have our tank update. We'll get right into it. We know that's why you're here. And then we have our character art and studio update and questions and answers. And look at this overlay. Mike Vecchio bringing it in.
Oh, some new overlays for
yeah.
the
So
new
is her
year.
office like
Been,
super
you know,
decorated, or
Ashes
does
of Creation,
she
fantasy
work
vibes.
from
We hope
home?
that you like it. Let us know what you think.
And Steven's like in the
We
office.
always try to take the new year.
You see all his
refresher, so you'll
like
see a lot of
stuff right here.
cool
Hey, I'd
assets
love
that we
those
have
little
aligned
miniatures,
for
maybe
all
a
of our
hat.
social stuff.
That'd be awesome.
And I know they're
Those
working
look
on some fun
cool.
things.
I really like
stay
this one right
tuned
here.
On that front.
Not
But
sure what
with
that is.
We're going to
Looks
go
like a
over
sculpture,
our,
like a just
comment
a.
spotlight, which I think.
Oh, is that an
I need
elephant?
to
Maybe.
grab from the thingamabob quick.
Doot.
Let us see. Go over here. We have our cosmetic swap over that's
Oh.
happening.
Oh,
So I'll
that's the
just
one that
remind
they
everyone about the first. So
showcased like
new
last week.
expedition goodies are available. They will be swapping over soon. So if you would like them, make sure
A
that you get
spider
them
with a
before,
scorpion
11
stinger,
a.m.
but they're like
Pacific on
floating rocks, so
February
it's an
8th.
earthbender.
And those ones I got to design, which was really cool. Reminder that these are kind of NPCs that you'll see in the world, creatures that you'll see in the world. They are, tied with the lore that we have going on, which is pretty exciting.
Oh yeah,
and
these
we
are
have our
these
comment
like
spotlight.
skin packages if you want to
Swap over
support the
to.
game you can buy,
If
and
you
then
would
like
like
all
to
that
be our
stuff will
comment
also be
spotlight,
in the
you can
world.
head on over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and leave a comment on this development update. So it's going to be January development update, the one that's titled that, which will go live on Saturday. But our question here, well, it's not, it's a comment plus question. I have been wondering how you will capture the storytelling from a casual point of view. A lot of the times where people reflect on what has happened in the MMO is by watching trailers. Arguably, in this person's opinion, one of, if not the best trailers out there is the Star Wars The Old Republic one, where they spend tons
Well,
of
they're
money
not
on
wrong.
capturing
The Star
items,
Wars
they make
trailers
some
are pretty
phenomenal
awesome.
trailers. Are you looking to do the same, or what kind of trailers can we expect from Ashes of Creation? And this is from
Ooh.
actually Ebod, which, yeah, I
I
have
have a
no
feeling
choice,
they're
so
going to
I'll leave
be
it to you first,
pretty
Steven.
broad
Well,
because
SOTOR,
it's
I
all
thought,
about the
did a
open
great
world.
trailer and story and voiceovers. I thought
But
all
yeah,
that was
story,
great
it's
so
kind of hard to
far.
tell what would their overall
You know,
story be.
we're an independent studio, and
Yeah. We'll start
we're-
there.
yeah, let's start there. With that
Caveat,
being
game
said,
first,
there are
trailers maybe.
certain budgetary requirements in order to
Of course,
afford
there it is.
very, high-end cinematics and voice actors.
Probably not getting
and-
a blur trailer if that's what you're
Right,
asking.
exactly. And what that means is how we want to implement on that front is really going to be in engine, in game.
Want to make
How
sure
we
you guys can
capture
hear
those
him.
scenes, how we capture those elements of story. And the good thing is that from a lore, narrative, and questing perspective, we have some functionality and tools that we're going to be utilizing to help tell the story from the player's perspective, because so much of the story is derived from player action, from community engagement, from the social interactions and decisions made along these different story arcs that can occur. And each server's different.
I was
So
wondering if
you know,
there was
spending that amount of money or that amount
like
of resources on creating these bespoke,
a closed
very
caption
well
thing,
done trailers,
but I
we
didn't
would
see
have to
one.
create a lot to kind of show how certain story arcs, what the outcome looks like in completing those things, because there's a lot of different ways these story arcs can end depending on what the players do. So we're going to leverage tech that captures kind of at the moment when something server first is done in the story arc, and those will be recorded on these memory fragments that players can collect within the game through their experiences and relive potentially through the cinematic that would be in game recorded, how an event went down, how a boss was
A
killed,
living
how
world,
the story arc ended,
cinematic, or just like showing moments in
history,
history.
which I think is a really cool way to tell
Not
the
too
story
bad.
of the server, the history of the server. I think that's super cool, and that's kind of how we're going to.
Because I really did
to
feel if they're
acquire
going
it.
to
It's really
show
gonna
an
be,
overarching thing, you're going to see a lot of
meant
stuff
to
about
portray in game
different
and also
landscapes,
based on
maybe
what the players
showcase
do.
some races,
So
but
that's
not
more
like a
in-game
linear linear
cinematics.
story.
Right.
In
Since
regards
theirs is
to
going to
trailers and
be
things of that sort, we will
a
definitely
big
be
open
making,
world sandbox style game.
trailers. If you saw it for Alpha 1, we made a trailer. We'll definitely be making some fun videos for Alpha 2 and Beta 1 and Beta 2. And of course, our launch is going to be a big deal for us. We will be doing lots of video snippets and goodies that we will be sharing and showcasing. So we'll definitely have trailers. They might not be, blur level trailers, but we will do our best to make some really sick stuff that gets people hyped. And
Ooh,
we'll
sick
probably,
stuff.
from a marketing perspective, advertise in some spaces in order to get people excited about certain content pieces and advertise those to the right audiences. So we will definitely we're saving our marketing budget for the right spaces, for the right places. We'll be doing a lot of content creator stuff, as you all know. We do have a content creator program that is open.
Well, that's the big
currently
thing.
in
Word of mouth
application
is
phase.
one
We
of the
will let you
biggest
know when
things
it
for
switches
Ashes
to
of
invitation
Creation.
phase, which will probably be closer to Alpha 2 because you kind of need content to be able to make content. So for us from our perspective, it makes most sense for that to timeline match up versus like having a bunch of content creators who are working with us but they don't have content to share.
And we have a pretty good budget that's been allocated for marketing trailers
Steven's
and marketing endeavors. We haven't even utilized any budget towards marketing thus far. And we've, from a project's perspective, obviously we've garnered a lot of attention because we have this transparent process of development where we keep you guys updated on a monthly basis. But as we grow closer to testing events,
especially once
and
you're
launch,
like a year out
where
or something,
those marketing dollars get a good return on ad spend, that's when we deploy those things. And I think you're going to be seeing just through the production quality that you see that Margaret and her team provide on the monthly cadence with our development updates, that is going to be met same course on the marketing side.
Oh, for sure. Like we'll be doing very cool
all that
things
stuff's
and
pretty
obviously for us, launch is going to be
common
really
sense,
exciting,
understandable,
especially for my team because that's when community and customer service and GMs and
Prime's
things of that sort
trying
get to have a little bit more
sell
fun
stuff to
because
me
we get to
already.
interact with you guys, and we also get to utilize things that you're doing in game, like Steven was talking about, those big moments on servers where we get to interact with them, or maybe we'll have like a news live stream where we work with different people from all the different servers to bring us information. Like we're gonna do a lot of cool, fun things. Guild programs is something that we've talked about in the past too, which is we want to bring guilds together and we want information from them. And if you've seen stuff that I've done at previous companies in regards to that, you'll know that I'm a big fan of that stuff. So we will have a lot of fun. Don't you worry. And when it comes to trailers and videos, we will have plenty of them. Right now, it doesn't make sense for us to make a ton of videos.
I like their animation thing they did right here with like the burning scroll stuff. That's pretty cool.
That doesn't make sense while we're
wish I had that talent.
Those things can change. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people have asked like, oh, can you make a video that's like, what is Ashes of Creation? Well, we need to make that game first so that we can make that video.
And we need to go through the iterative testing loops, which is where the game can really change, right? That's the very most important part is, we have well-defined systems and features that we've built thus far, but really how those features survive and in the way they survive comes after the
you don't know how much I'd love to be able to get into the testing of some of this game.
Our endeavors are always to work towards that next live audience testing, which of course is Alpha 2, that we've made some significant progress
towards. We'll have
some
pre-Alpha 2 testing too that we're going to do to make sure that we're ready to open the floodgates, because Alpha 2 is a lot of players, whereas Alpha 1 was, it's a good amount of players, Alpha 1 was, but we want to kind of make sure that
I think our Alpha 2 has over 100,000 people that have purchased into it, so it's a pretty significant testing.
Yeah, we were originally going 30,000.
I know.
Now it's
obviously
crazy.
That explodes when we get closer to Alpha 2 testing. But yes, so a lot to be said there. But I know people are waiting. I want to see this tank thing.
Yes, so let's go ahead and switch over. That's where we're at next.
We're jumping right into that. Nice.
So thank you so much. And with that, we'll swap over to the tank goodness. So Steven, let's do a little prefacing.
Yeah.
So the big thing is their tank update, because you see this is just character art and what's happening in the studio. Well, I guess this one and of course the big Q&A.
Everyone is aware of this if you tune in, but you have to be partly the messenger for us with the broader audience that isn't as engaged.
I keep seeing this circle and I realize it's the backlight. It is glasses.
Loyal, loving, amazing, beautiful, glorious
That's hilarious.
followers who are waiting for this product to sit in your hands. It's helpful if you guys comment.
I thought it was like this facial recognition circle
Art
thing.
is a work in progress. Design is a work in progress. All of this stuff.
Yeah,
is
you know,
meant to kind of
tank,
show
the shot callers, the
progress
positioning,
towards the
setting
end
up the
goal,
rest
which
of the
is
party
delivering this.
for
So keep that
success.
in
I've
mind.
always loved
That's
that
a
kind of
rapport that
stuff.
we've
So I can't wait to
established with the
see
community. I feel really
how this
comfortable with.
goes.
And because of that, you are going to see in this recording, I had to use a few GM cheats. I apologize.
Tell us what you did, Stephen. What did you do?
I had to use some GM cheats specifically because there was a particular item that I needed to get that we died a few times when we shouldn't have. There was too many creeps that we pulled. We were undermanned in an area that was designed for 8-man groups. So, you know, there's just stuff that happens. And I just want to give you that up front, that there's a little bit of GM cheating. If you see that, please take it with a grain of salt. We feel comfortable sharing that stuff with you.
For as big as a game that Steven's making, it always amuses me, just like as he's talking and stuff, it just makes him, when he's actually playing the game, just like him seeming like how much of a noob he is.
It's important to remember. The tank archetype, this is I think it's level 12 or level 13.
He'll probably be like a god level gamer when the game actually comes out.
The biggest thing to take away
it's all for show.
November, we showed you a cleric live stream.
Yes, that was interesting.
3 big points of feedback from the community with regards to the cleric live stream that related to combat. That was hit animation reactions from the NPCs when they're being attacked. It was hit visual effects on impact from a weapon when that weapon contacts, and making it feel substantive, making it visually apparent that you've made contact with the enemy. And the last was going to be the animations and the root motions around the mace combat. Now, Brian Ferguson did a lot of work on fine-tuning up that mace combat. I think it looks great. We took a lot of that feedback. We did
a lot of people said that feels good when
because you had like a mace and flail.
It feels very connective. And then Jim, Matt, and John did a lot of work on the hit impact effects, with Adam and Keenan supporting on the directionality of those hit impacts. And then in addition, with the animation team, Brad Constantine providing some significant adaptation to the hit reactions on the animation side with these particular creatures that you're going to see improvements.
Is that a little like Iron Man
your
ducky
point of feedback is most applicable is on those 3 things.
Put that in a bathtub, let it float around.
The role, the functionality of the abilities, you're going to see, you know, what about the tank have you enjoyed in previous games, that particular role, and what do you like what you see here? There's some cool tech you're going to see involved in this. You're going to see some wind force actors that get applied to abilities when dealing with the surrounding foliage.
Do I get a giant tower shield as big as me?
It really is immersive, and of course adds
build.
Yeah, lawnmower build. How do you mow that grass down with some explosions and stuff? It's super cool. Speaking of lawnmowers, I haven't heard your lawnmower in the background yet.
It happened in the morning.
Because look at that.
They always do it every other Friday.
We've made it. We've made it. You're going to see some active blocking as well. Now, I know in the past we've talked a little bit about how active blocking as a mechanic might leverage a separate energy mechanic called stamina. We haven't yet really nailed that down yet, if we're going to go that route, or if we're going to have active blocking consume mana based on additional mitigated damage. And if it does consume mana, and that's across all classes, some classes will have the ability.
Is there such a thing as forehead gloss?
That might reduce the cost of that mana down to very, very small when active blocking. So it's geared towards certain types of
I like active blocking
archetypes. So with that being said, you are going to one other thing. Audio levels might be a little high with combat and voices. That's an
latency and seeing all that. Well, active blocking and things like timing pairing and all that stuff. Will that become a thing in this game?
It'll make it so my team can edit a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
Because right now it's like the audio and the gameplay are mixed together, so we can't really edit that as easy.
Yeah, so just be aware of that. But without further ado, we would like to show you the first look at the Alpha 2 tank work in progress archetype.
The first look? You're telling me it isn't completed yet? Oh no. Unreal Engine 5. I need to get me a 3080 to run this game, huh? The Alpha 2 tank preview.
everyone, and welcome to another live stream. The first, actually.
That looks like some pretty light armor.
Holy smokes, how crazy is that? You know, I was thinking the other day.
Where's your shield?
How much time passes between live streams? The longest amount of time that passes between our live streams is actually the December to January months, and it's always sad. I was sad to think about.
I like GM Steven, GM Ferguson,
but
and
today
Red.
is going to be a fun live stream because
that guy has a shield.
We are showing off an early preview of the Alpha 2 tank archetype and some of its abilities.
I was about to say, it's like a really scrawny tank. I was like, oh, I think that might be a female model.
Awesome, spectacular developers on the team. Some of whom, actually all of whom, I think you have.
I still like the idea of going.
We are joined by one of our glorious engineers, Keenan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Short and stocky, but big and bulky with their dwarf, heavy-duty dwarf-looking armor.
Our senior gameplay designers, Brian and Trad. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yep, glad to be back. Ready to do some healing this time around. Brian will be taking over the fighter role for me this time.
This guy trying to be a part of the Night's Watch.
Last time, you know, we showed off the cleric in November, and we got some great feedback on the hit reacts, the hit visual effects, some of the weapon combos with the mace, and I know you guys have been working pretty hard at implementing iterations over that feedback, right?
Yeah, the mace has had a lot of iteration over the past month. What you
I like
guys
this.
saw
They
in
got
the
a really
live stream
fleshed
was an
out
ultra
quest
early
journal
first
system
stab.
there.
We took another full approach at it. Went back to the drawing board and we came back at it with a new approach that focused on holding poses and quick transitions and an overall satisfying cadence to the mace. That'll be cool to show off later in the stream.
Yeah, I think people are going to like those changes. So we actually have chosen an area you guys will recognize. Of course, we are back again in the Riverlands. The Riverlands being a very large portion of the Alpha 2 environment. But we have some objectives here, right? We're going to try to acquire some gear. So you guys are probably noticing some of the UI. Colby and the UI team have been up to a lot of stuff. You can see now we have some of the tooltips adjusted, although right now these don't pay too much attention to the stats on these items, but you can see also, let me see, do we have our map of this area? Where are we headed to? I think we're headed to, what is this place?
That's a lot of color.
Is it Oakenbane? The
Oakenbane Keep.
Yeah, this is the Oakenbane Keep. So this is one of the POIs in Alpha 2.
I believe they said before, but you'll be able to move around all your UI stuff.
A training facility in the older Varen days for the Aelan Empire, where they trained up recruits. And I think some of those recruits might still be here, just not in the corporeal form. I guess they're maybe in that incorporeal form. But they have some items for us, right? Because we're going to talk a little bit about looting as well, and some of the party mechanics that we've implemented for looting rights,
right? Oh, is Dread the only tank and the other two guys
we made a huge amount of progress with looting as well. As you mentioned, tooltips, but also stats went through a huge revamp to be much more performant now. We got a compare window online. The inventory is a lot more functional now, and all those party loot settings that Colby and his team have been working on as well. So
very nice.
big update for
I thought it looked like his left foot was all busted up, but and that was the footprint.
One thing I want to make sure that we're going to be doing is going through each of these abilities, and again, these are just a small subsection of abilities that are available to the tank archetype. Talk about kind of the role of the tank in Ashes of
the way
Creation.
His character stands, because he has a great sword.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the role of that tank is?
For sure.
Because like all the weights on that side, so that's why his character is
to a lot of
fresh on that.
People who
but if you saw the Dread guy, his guy is just walking normally.
Whoops, I think I lost you there. You good now?
Oh yeah, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, just like a classic role, you know, you're defending for the party. Usually the tank is the person leading the charge. Everybody is following the tank as they navigate through a dungeon or through a space like kind of where we're at now. Taking damage from the party, mitigating damage. you know, saving your team members when the cleric can't, you know, heal them or keep them alive.
Now, one thing.
Yeah, holding aggro.
Oh, here we go. Yes, let's get this snipe off. The DPS is doing their job.
Oh, one hit.
Let's see if I can.
Well, your DPS too.
That guy died quick.
Oh, this guy's got a shield.
Too much damage.
Like damage.
I think he did.
Well, you wouldn't spin to win on one guy.
Okay, so you guys probably are familiar with these NPCs. We've seen them in the past. These are some of the Minotaurs leading up to, I think these guys are populated around this Oakenbane Keep area.
Yeah, and the more people you have,
so
the easier it's going to be, of course.
Has is a ability called Grapple. Now, visual effects and just to, whoops, darn it.
Oh,
okay,
so you're going to be a two-hand tank?
This guy real quick. Oh my God, we grabbed a couple of them. Let's see if we can kill this guy real quick. Very nice. Oh, he had some redwood lumber. Very cool. Okay, so just to preface yet again, this obviously is a work in progress. You guys are going to be seeing some abilities, some visual effects.
So the grapple skill isn't highlighted until you're,
of course, everything that we talk
targeted
about
on somebody
are subject to change because of testing. But
or
one of the first
direction.
abilities that I'm going to use as a tank is probably pretty standard. Is the ability to kind of single out a target and pull them towards your party, or at least.
Okay, so it lights up once you're in range. Gotcha.
Let me use this.
Nice.
See. Oh, he resisted my pull. And now look at him. He pulled his friend with him. These guys aren't too bad. The actual shades that are in the Oakenbane Keep, those are intended for groups, right, guys?
Yeah. They're a lot tougher, and if we get more than one at a time, it'll
a lot of their damage stuff right now just based around the skills and the auto attacks. I don't see a lot with
which talk to me a little bit about
say like stunning, staggering
twice in a forward cone while adding additional threat.
Like parrying and whatnot
as a mechanic that we utilize in Ashes.
I only thought there was only going to be so much of that, to be honest.
Threat is, again, something a lot of people are familiar with. The person with the highest threat holds aggro on the target, and that's, again, a major role of the tank is holding aggro on target so that your party members don't get attacked. Is pretty simple and straightforward. You know, there may be some other interesting things that we want to do with threat down the line, but you know, right now, you know, we'll have basic things that increase your threat, and then we'll have snap threat mechanics, all sorts of interesting ways of going about it.
Oh, we pulled some of the shades.
Yeah, we need to be careful with these guys.
Are they elites? Are they not doing any damage to them?
Shadow Bolt, that's not too bad. Well, these guys are much tankier.
Oh yeah.
Can you lock them down?
And so these slashing strikes are giving me additional threat.
That ranger's chunking them.
Helpful to me. I guess at this level I'm not too threatening. He is on that healer.
I'll do the tanking for now.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's the healer with the shield and mace? Oh, he is, yeah, because he has a blue tank symbol, the yellow healer one, the red DPS. Oh, for melee DPS is a red weapon, and then
the bow warden.
The bow. Okay, so that's really cool. I like that.
Oh, I like that. The stop ability. What is that ability doing?
Where's the thing's health bar?
Ability?
Yeah, this tremoring bellow.
Ah, yes. So that's a
bow warden. Is that a boss?
That does a combination of
damage
you got
and
lightning CC. Especially if you use it on a snared target, the big PBOE or the PBOE around you will trip targets, knock you down.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I can't push to talk and heal at the same time.
Okay, this guy looks a little scary. Let me put up a shield.
Oh, come on. I'm a healer main in Final Fantasy. Can't tell me that. Gotta be able to do both.
I like this. Instantly dispels and
redo them
all
keybinds.
Effects on the caster.
Yeah, and I mean, the more interesting thing it does is anybody.
So I don't see a cast bar with that skill. Does that mean he's shooting instant lightning?
Will redirect a portion of their damage back to the tank. So it can really screw the tank if the tank's not ready for it, but it's a great way to protect the party.
We got some drops here.
A rare.
Oh, what is it?
Hammer of Corin. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Now, I am the tank. I need this hammer. Please do not, please do not roll on this.
Tank gets all the loot.
I'm gonna put a need. No, I'm gonna put a need here.
Ninja loot.
Hey, I got it. Yay! Very cool. Let me see here.
You're gonna switch to the hammer
should
now?
I equip it, or should I should wait probably for a shield, or what do you think?
I think you can equip it now. It looks like it has better damage than your current two-hander.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now how do I compare?
I think you just hover over in your bag. Does it?
Oh, it's shift.
Is it shift?
I can see my great blade. So it is a bit better. It looks like it's got some
so
strength
it's a one-handed
and
hammer.
Penetration. Okay, let's try it. Let me see what this kind of looks like. Oh yeah, not bad. Let me see.
So I was wondering, would the skills change though now that you're using a hammer?
Talk to me a little bit about that iteration.
Were they the same though? It looked like.
So Meadow and Myers and I. Meadow and Myers are two of our glorious animators. We went back to the drawing board on the mace. We grabbed some new poses, and we were really focused around holding the pose.
Beat the crap out of somebody.
So you get that satisfying break between hits. But there's a lot of
looks cool.
to it that we've been figuring out. Like, how do you get all that weight in a hit without making it too heavy and sticky?
Seemed a little bit jittery there.
Make sure that the player is breaking out of the animation at the right time to get that feeling of control. And there's just a lot of fine-tuning that goes into it. But I think we've got a really good method to get consistent results with our weapon combos now.
Yeah, it's looking good. I like it. And you can see, obviously, the directional hit impact effects. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we revamped our hit effects quite a bit since the last live stream.
Yeah, I think they look great. I like the weapon trailing on the item as well. Very nice. That's not bad. You know, something I notice when I play MMOs is
the healer is getting most of the threat right now.
Gameplay, you know, is much slower paced.
So is he just not using skills to get it?
It's kind of a ramp building up to, I guess,
what to ramp up his threat,
right?
Yeah. You kind of want to have that a little bit of ramp there, right? Because there's that power.
You're talking about something about needing to be in an 8-man zone. Is this?
People in the dump
this is open world, right? Is this technically an 8-man area, or is this still 4-man area? And when they go into a dungeon, that's the 8-man area.
I've had some practice.
Yeah, need to interrupt him. Okay, he's slowed. That is mime discombobulated or something?
Yeah, these guys are definitely, probably a full group of them.
Yeah, quite a few animations going off everywhere too.
Yeah, I imagine it's only going to get harder from here. It's just warm up.
Maybe we should like kind of see if we can pull just one of the. Oh god, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Let's kill the one that's aggroed by the melee.
Let me shield us. Aegis.
Alright, big heals incoming.
Oh, he has like some crazy directional shield that if people are behind it.
Stop rotating Aegis out of us.
Well, yeah, that's what he's doing. I was like, yeah, you're moving around. You shouldn't be doing that.
Positioning to the tank, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Wherever the tank goes, you probably want to go too.
Yes, but then also the tank needs to stay as stationary as they can be unless you absolutely need to move.
Everyone's got to work together.
So are you playing in action mode now, Steven?
Yes, I am.
Okay, people may notice that your abilities don't really work that differently now that you're in action mode.
Oh yeah, talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, there seems to be, I don't know, a bit of a misperception about the difference between action mode and tab mode. Really, those are just two like targeting and input schemes, and the underlying abilities don't actually change that much.
Yeah, and then we were also talking about having the ability to kind of customize each particular ability's functionality.
Oh no, I'm dead. But yes, we were. There are some differences.
Oh, he let his range guy die.
That abilities are constructed that we figured.
Oh, turn around! I want to see the heal or the res.
So the plan is to support those differences as settings on each ability, and if you like the way that it works in typical
those are his ashes.
You can configure your tab targeting ability to
Does he have to run back, or can they res him?
Support that for that ability, and vice versa. If you like the way that it works in tab target mode by default, you can configure it to work that way in action mode as well.
Very cool.
Oh wow! So you can customize individual skills.
Ashes here.
Even further.
Yeah, I might need to respawn, or if I could get a quick res.
Oh.
Yes. Magical words, waving my hands around. Res.
Yes. Whee! Welcome
Arise,
back.
Arise.
Yay! Alright, let's do this.
That sounded like an admin command.
Take here? Oh, okay. Ooh, remains of Oakenbane Keep. There's a lot.
You want me to pull?
A lot of overgrowth. Well, let's not pull yet. I want to show off something. So, one thing you guys will notice is that these abilities have effects on the surrounding foliage. So when I use my shout, you'll see it lays down an imprint on the grass. Look at that! That's so
pretty cool.
You know, one thing I haven't used yet, but I really love the icon for, is that grit, it looks like. Let me see what grit says. So, 4 meter range applies a buff to the caster. Let's see, reducing incoming damage by 15%, but also reducing movement speed by 30% and outgoing damage by 20%. Okay, so it's an additional mitigation at the cost of speed and damage. Each incoming hit consumes a stack of courage to reduce incoming damage by an additional 15%. Talk to me a little bit about courage.
Courage is a passive mechanic currently on the tank. It's a resource specific to the tank where you can build it up by taking damage. Each hit you take will generate a stack. And then, but only if you don't have grit active. As soon as you have grit active, instead of gaining stacks when you take damage, each stack is consumed per hit and then gives you additional mitigation per stack you consume.
Oh, so it's a build and spend
where you want to pop that in more of an emergency situation where the tank's in trouble.
Oh, he's going right up the middle. That's not smart.
You know, you're not
Should have
taking
gone
a lot
to
of
one
damage.
of the
It's actually
sides.
going to hurt your threat output too, because if your damage is lower, you're doing less damage, therefore you're building less threat.
Oh my god, Keenan.
Hold aggro on the resonance, let's kill the echo.
I'm doing Aegis, keep me up. Oh god! No, no, no. The Aegis really consumed a lot of damage. I move back now. I move back. I need heals. I need heals. I need heals. Oh god. Okay.
I don't know how well this is going to work out.
Well, our DPS, of course,
Oh, this is silly.
Oh my god.
Sorry, guys.
Let's
Oh, because y'all went up into right into the middle. That was stupid.
That Aegis really dropped me quick.
Well, you were
combined
taking
with
the damage for us.
3 mobs.
So the Aegis is essentially is a lifelink where you guys.
I blame the GMs on that one. You went up into the middle to the right when you should have gone either left or right.
Transferred to me. And is that post or pre-mitigated damage?
It's pre-mitigated.
Oh my god. Wow.
Well, no, if it considers your mitigation, so
okay, that's...
yeah.
Res me.
No, like right there.
Man.
Should be pulling that resonant on the side.
Well
or
done.
just go left.
This is amazing.
This is how resing works in our game.
Let me
This is infuriating to watch.
God. Where'd you pull?
We didn't even...
Okay, alright, we can do this, we can do this.
No, don't run forward.
I had to do an AOE.
Let him come back.
The existential dread of when you hear
Dummy.
range in your group's bow shot. It's like, oh god, what did he pull?
What
These guys collapsed.
Getting nuked.
Yeah, this guy just...
Ow, ow.
He did clap you.
Oh
my god, he's clapping everyone.
What is up? This guy's jacked.
What is this clap we speak of?
hold the aggro,
Let's give
tank.
the tank a little bit of
Where's
time
the
to build through.
Yeah, where's a taunt or something?
Unbelievable.
What skills do you have?
Cool.
Your toolkit isn't working out right, huh?
Once we get you a shield, I think it'll be a little smoother.
Yeah.
Wait, you have aggro.
Oh god.
Watch out.
One at a time.
Oh.
These are elite mobs. They are not to be taken lightly.
That was one thing I was trying to look at. Does it show on the health bar? Yeah, there's nothing on the health bar really that identifies it as an elite outside of it having a lot more health.
Sorry guys, I'll try to do less damage.
Your damage is too high.
Yeah, you're very strong.
Well, I heard a shield drops off a mob around here. Where is that guy spawned?
Yeah. Up on the ramparts there, where I'm looking.
I really do need a shield, because I know we have active block that we want to talk about as well. Where do we get
you
the
guys
shield
are going
Over
too
this
far
way.
left.
Okay, alright.
Oh, got to?
Brian's been here before.
Yep.
I'm gonna focus the echo because it's gonna just kill Dread otherwise.
Get them heals out. Pre-healing. Go, go.
Oh god. I was on the...
CC the echo. CC the echo.
There we go.
I think the resonance might have a frontal cone, AoE.
Oh, let me try to...
Yeah, turn him around. Oh no, he's on the healer.
Face me, villain!
Nice.
Got him!
That went a little bit better.
Yeah,
It's kind of rich for me to say this now, but one of the things that I've always liked about playing tank is the ability to set the tempo of the run.
Yes, that is rich of you to say, as a ranger who's been pulling multiple monsters. Yeah.
We'll see who
Real rich.
really should have tank.
Well, see, the tank has to have like really good party awareness, right? Like, you have to know how your healer's doing. Do they have mana? You have to know how like agitated and sweaty your DPS are. Like, are they gonna go no matter what you do?
Oh, when that happens, you just laugh at them as you watch them die pathetically. That's how that works.
All right, I have activated grit, and I am on fire now. That's pretty cool. I like these effects.
That's a nice. I think we're gonna body pull.
Yeah, these two on the bottom.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Did we pull through? Okay.
May have pulled 3.
Don't get cleaved.
Yeah, trying to grab some.
What's that
Aggro.
shout skill he does?
Over here. I tripped them. Oh, nice. That was good.
Oh, there he goes.
So what is?
Oh, we pulled the boss.
I'm dead.
Did we? Oh god.
We need to reset.
Oh god.
God.
I'm
Oh
running away.
no, the healer's
No,
down.
I'm slow because of this thing. Don't pull more. Don't grab more.
Oh, too late. Shit.
Oh god. I need
Too
help.
late,
I
shit.
need an adult.
We should probably start pulling with grapple
Oh
again.
my god.
Okay,
Like a safe spot.
let me grab him with
Oh
grapple.
crap! They've respawned.
Is this
okay,
good or
I'm
bad with their
alive.
failing
I'm alive.
and
I'm
showing in the
severely
game and
injured,
being
but
the
I'm
GMs?
back alive.
Not sure if the
The boss
gonna
is
leash
down
or,
there
leash?
now. I don't think he's gonna leash. I think he has claimed your body for his self.
okay.
Um,
Well, I will res and
he's a
we'll
big.
see how it goes.
He's a big boy though, and he's looking at me. He's definitely looking at me.
Yeah, just res and heal Steven.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Now let me pull him and get some aggro first. Okay. Come on over here, buddy. Yeah, there we go. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome to the pain
6,400.
train. What's happening?
It's making a fundamental error. When you pull a thing as a boss, you run through him or turn him around.
Run him down.
Activate.
Come on, Steven, you know this.
Stand in my shield, brethren. I will protect
They
you.
wouldn't have to if you had turned him around.
Oh god.
So funny.
Oh my god, this is hurting. I feel like
So does this guy have a shield or a two-handed sword?
We did it.
You're saying?
Oh,
there you go. Oh, a tower shield. That's what I was wanting.
Nice.
Okay.
Is it as big as you?
Please don't.
Yeah, I'd be sweating there.
You know, I've been taking a lot of damage this run.
Please no bully. Please no bully. No bully.
Typical ranger wants all the loot.
And now we shall be complete
Rangers get so much hate.
with the shield. Oh, the glorious tower shield. Oh my god, look.
Now
Do you have any shield skills?
Oh, look at that. My
Let me guess,
active block.
you right click and block now, huh?
I think that unlocks a new ability for you too. That'll help you hold some more threat.
Oh, yes. That's going to be the
Shield slam?
Shield assault.
Oh, shield assault.
Let me try that shield assault on this. Okay, wait, actually, is there any way we can go around this? There's a lot of people over there. Let's
Where
go
were we
back.
trying to
Let's
go?
go back.
We got respawns behind us.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter
let's
where we
thread
go.
the needle. We're going to thread the needle. We're threading it, and we're threading it, and we're walking. And we are now jumping to the target.
Jump on this guy.
Oh, I was really
Oh,
short.
you missed it. Oh, so that's a charge?
Story of my life.
Yeah, shield assault's good too because we got
Pulled in the back.
behind
All
goals.
right, stand behind me.
Ryan just went down.
That's what happens when you don't wait for aggro.
Oh, keep me up, keep me up. Oh, it's hurting. Let me active block. Block me.
Res, Brian, res.
Blocking. I'm blocking for you, Brian. Arise.
Use your skills. Trip him up again.
Sorry, Keenan. Heals are reserved for the tank.
I guess these guys have mechanics.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're getting frontaled.
okay. Let's see if I can knock him down. There we go. It's not too bad.
This feels like a showcase on how not to
We
play.
did it.
We need a bigger group.
All right, yeah, we do need a bigger group, but let's try to. Can we run through this? Let me run.
Need a
I just
smarter
wanna get
group.
up to the next one. Where's the next boss at?
Is he trying to run up
Yeah,
and
the next boss
stuff?
is up a few sections, so yeah, we need to go past this.
Actually, we can kill this guy.
Past this gate here.
Let's just kill this dude right here.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Oh, I like the
I
shield.
get they're saying, yeah, they could have 8
So is
men,
that a
but at the
variable
same
distance
time,
that
the
sets
play
shield slam?
is kind of sloppy, starting with
so
Steven.
It'll go up to a maximum distance. It's a short gap closer.
I'm sure there will be skills that you'll want to use your Aegis,
It'll stop, so you don't just
like a big, like AoE, like a fire breath or
Yeah,
something
annoying
like that.
Sometimes with free firing.
But yeah, just in general,
mobility skills.
him not turning
That's super.
the
Yeah,
mobs
you should
around,
shield
so
bash into a trimmering bellows.
your guys probably
That seems
do
to
extra
be
damage from behind,
Okay, let's try that.
or just so you don't get cleaved. I mean, that's just simple tank basics. Put him into the healing circle.
Yeah, there's some synergy. I like it. So the shield slam applies status condition. A snare. And then that snare gets promoted into a trip from the tremoring bellow, the shout.
Correct. Yep.
Love it.
It's
Oh,
a
it started
good
ringing.
combo.
It must know that we're approaching.
Like, there you go, and then
Oh my god, look at that aggro.
that's one thing I couldn't see is like, can you not run through mobs in this game? Is it all body blocking
Oh,
as
yeah,
well?
it's not bad. Yeah, that's much better. I like
In
that.
a lot of ways, I actually do like the whole body blocking
Where
thing,
do we
but
go
I
now?
know some people, when it came to like New
Around,
World, were all
so this
bitching
big,
about it.
This big keep thing in front of us, we gotta go around it. Yeah,
Okay.
the idea.
Let me target this dude. Easy.
There they go. They're getting some actual good CC in on
Oh,
them.
dude, this shield and hammer. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, active blocking combined with grit and a few stacks of courage are going to get you a ton of mitigation.
That's not bad.
And you just need to know how to hold thread on top of it.
Oh, I didn't have my trembling bellows. Alright. Blocks are happening.
Yeah, so you're really going to need to read the tooltip on your skills and adding in your auto attacks on top of it if they combo off of each other.
Currently, and this is a bit of a work in progress. So, sorry, again, trying to talk and heal. It is a directional mitigation, so
That's a cool
you must have the incoming damage coming from the front in order for it to work. But it's like a 50% damage reduction. We're still exploring resource systems to associate with it, whether that is mana or a stamina system. That should be coming soon. And we'll obviously be prototyping with different things there, collecting feedback.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh no, Keenan died again.
Oh no.
That's the Ranger's fault. What are you doing shooting them in melee range?
Reserved for the tank.
You know, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. I don't know how that's relevant.
I feel that skill should like stun them or knock them back a little.
That's half the fun of being a healer, right? That power over life.
Oh, I love these guys' effects. The lightning looks great here. Jim, John, and Matt did a great job.
Oh yeah, the lightning is sweet.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, the combat's still a little bit janky, but it does feel pretty active and violent.
A lot of these, right?
So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't really call it out, but we got hit by a super cool attack from one of the earlier named mobs.
Oh, which one was that?
I was the first one, I think.
Oh, the warden?
I was trying to get into position and he did like a drop 4 lightning bolts down.
Alright, I think
they're melting them now,
this
huh?
way. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I can see one of the original trees up there.
Original trees.
So these, apparently, I think the trees in this area, or at least once was the trees in this area, had some magical properties, and now there's only one that's like a remnant remaining. That is the last remaining tree.
Oh, the big old hammer still stunned them.
Will that be a contested resource that gives like really good lumber or something?
Probably.
Only a couple of these trees and you want to chop them down. Come on, man.
Yeah, because even raw resources can drop if somebody kills you.
Did he drop a monster cert?
Yeah.
Ooh, a Kalanmir hunting certificate. Okay. What can we
turn
do
that
with those
into
guys?
like a hunt log
Well,
guy or
those-
something?
Yes, many things. You can pay for your property with them. You can get gold with them. You can get commodities with them. A whole bunch of economical impacts from monster certs.
This is true. Monster certs do serve as the basis of the gold economy. Does this guy have one? No, he doesn't have one. Say it.
Your threat management's gotten a lot better now, Steven.
Yes, this shield is very helpful, actually. I think I've gotten it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I know he's just showcasing the skills, but yeah, he didn't necessarily need to use that shield.
Now there is a boss up here, right? What's he?
I don't know what he does, but I do know what he dropped.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're trying to complete our Titan Bark armor set.
Mm-hmm.
I have most of the pieces.
Yeah, I wrote in the back.
Oh, yep.
Where is it? Come here. I do like like the subtlety of the Aegis, or excuse me, of the grit. And I can activate, that's a toggleable ability that I can activate kind of mid-swing or mid-ability, right? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, basically...
I didn't see on their health bars if that yellow 15 is what shows that they're elite. Because there's normally there's like a border around the health bar itself, but they don't have anything like that as far as I can tell.
So you can use it just kind of...
Oh, they got 3 guys.
Like now.
Yeah.
No, you gotta hit them. You gotta use skills. There you go.
Alright, get behind me.
No! Don't get behind you. Turn them around.
I got my shield up. I got the shield up. I'm actively blocking. Oh, wow.
Well, at least unlike New World, you don't keep getting pushed, so that's good.
I'm trying.
Knocked him.
Maybe only big attacks.
Oh god, I'm shielded. I'm still shielded.
Oh no, Dread's dead.
They're gonna kill me.
Just too many, man.
They're gonna kill me. Oh.
You got this, Keenan. You got this.
Oh no.
And,
Oh,
Kiting, Keenan.
at least get that one down. It's almost dead.
You know what? Here, let me cheat a little bit. I'm up. I have respawned.
Was kiting a pretty good using his vault skill and all that.
Okay.
So we need to go this way.
Cheaters reported.
Let's do it.
We still got one to deal with here.
No, you pulled the guy in the back.
Yeah, we gotta take out the mini boss down below before we go up top.
Why will the mini boss aggro? Will he like call him?
Yep. Back on that ruins.
Like, to me, my minions.
Archers.
Oh, that guy.
What does he have?
You want a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
No spoiler. Let me see if I can pull him down without grabbing anything else. Hold on.
Nope,
You're
aggro,
not.
aggro.
Oh, shoot.
Keep saying it, but this is funny and hard to watch, though.
I love the lightning. Oh, the sound is so great. Catch it took a good.
You guys are doing great. Needed some mana.
Yeah, the sound of combat's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna pull down the boss now. Stand by. We are grabbing in 3, 2, and 1.
The Arboris Historia?
I cannot see it.
Yeah, line of sight.
Okay, hold on.
Let's go around. We want... Okay, you got it.
Let's see.
Do we want to pull him back here? Watch out for that.
Hey, come on over here, buddy.
Oh, you got one ad. Now you got the other ad.
Let's focus the ad. DPS.
All right, stand behind me.
Steven, stay on the boss. Oh, there's
I'm
two
on
ads.
the boss. I'm on the boss. I'm active blocking.
Well,
I don't know
stun
if
the other
active
two
blocking works
guys.
against the lightning, but I do have the aggro.
It should work.
More DPS.
I've set my cooldown.
There you
to
go.
0
Use your
apparently.
skills on the ads. Knock them down.
We have 2 ads now.
We activate grit.
About to say, use your grit thing and trip them up. Oh no, the healer's dead again.
Oh my God.
Because you didn't have aggro on him.
Okay, I don't know. Am I on the ads?
That's almost down.
Knocked him.
I'll kill the ad.
Yeah, why weren't you doing that the whole time?
I knocked him again. This 0 cooldown thing is great. I backed up. Oh my God.
Oh, that was
You guys
the
gonna
4
go
lightning
do
bolt
this?
skill, huh?
Gonna cheat.
Oh no, I don't think so. Oh God, he's hurting. Dread,
Can't you
help.
dodge those?
Oh no, I'm dust.
Like, can you sidestep or like roll?
Guys, as you know, we sometimes get into areas that are a little bit above our pay grade.
Yeah, this is an 8-man area, guys. We're not bad. I promise.
Yeah, we're not bad. We're not bad.
I'd like a second vote on that.
Pick it up. I'll roll on it. Let me see here. I got it.
Is that a caster?
Ooh, Titan bark leggings. Okay, and another hunting certificate. Grab these things because we didn't have to roll on that one. Oh, and I didn't have to roll on this either. I didn't have to roll on those leggings.
Okay, so that was a mini boss, right?
Was the loot setting set to
Loot Master, not round robin? I swear I didn't ninja change that. I apologize. I think Dread changed it.
Was it me?
We should change it back maybe for this boss up here.
We're about to aggro some more.
How do I even change that?
There we
It
go.
should be in your party settings.
I see.
Got that back aggro.
Grab the back aggro.
Come on, just stun him.
Knocked him. Oh my god, it spawned on top of us!
Good, stun him, trip him up. Use that shout skill.
You guys stay there and kill that thing. I'm gonna
Needs
see
to
if
be
I can
using his active mitigation more.
pull this guy out from
Trying
the
to see which one's the courage skill on like his buffs up here. You know, I don't know the icon.
All right, aggro
Got another one.
established. Oh no!
Oh, they got 3.
Knock him down. Grab some aggro.
Come on, get all 3 of them.
All right,
Get that guy in front of you.
a few of them.
Spin him around. Oh, the healer chained a guy.
Active blocking.
There you go, let them get through their combos. Now do your combos.
It's happening. We're doing it. We're doing it, boys. All right.
It's like I keep thinking, you know,
It looks like there's one up
like
top.
this skill should be
We
a
probably
taunt
go with
skill
the
or
one up
something.
top
You know,
here.
that's his active mitigation
He's probably
thing.
gonna get pulled.
Yeah, there's not up there.
Like,
Actually, we can probably
like
avoid
what
it.
is
Let's
he
just go through
doing?
here. Let's go through here.
But like the grapple kind of
Okay,
acts
I
like a
think we're
taunt.
on
The
me-
shield
on me
charge gives some
close.
more active threat.
Tight. Keenan, DPS Rangers back there, far away. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Oh, that's the
Man,
Lord.
I'll
I
pull this
see.
guy. I'm gonna pull this guy. Come on over here.
Oh, they pulled the Lord.
Oh, okay, I got the boss.
Now turn him around.
Where's
Turn him
my
around.
armor? I need that armor.
That's a cool helmet. Oh no, they pulled another echo.
I'm active blocking. I'm active blocking. We're good.
Pick up the aggro on the other guy.
We have 4.
You're not.
Okay, all right. I'm
Use
still
your active
blocking.
mitigation on top of it.
Still active blocking. I'm activating grid.
It's over.
Oh God, no! But no, not like this.
I think we need to
Don't
clear
do
a
it.
little more of the area first.
Oh God, it's happening.
So
Okay, I'm dead.
silly. I like how they all turn into ashes. It is kind of funny.
Guys,
I'm
I
gonna just die in a
swear.
safe area over here.
Yeah. Good idea. Okay, you distract them.
Do we just want to like die here and then start over?
No, wait, hold on. Yeah. Let's go up here on this ridge maybe. Can we go on the bridge? Oh no! Oh my God! Ah! How did they do this?
No, don't
Maybe
go
I
back
can
up there.
drag them.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
Oh, the tree looks
Yeah.
so beautiful. I'm getting a glimpse of it before my death. Okay, you've successfully pulled them. I'm gonna loot the chamber he was in. Does he have a
Yeah.
chamber over here?
Now
Maybe
they
he
see
just
what you're
won't see
doing.
me.
They're
Oh
coming
my
after you.
God! No! Oh God!
We gotta regroup.
I can hold out here for about 7 seconds. That was a quick
I
7
don't know if
seconds.
that was 7 seconds.
I've died though in a mausoleum, so it's okay. My body is here. It's resting. They're still looking at me. Okay, they've left. You know, let me think here. How can we do this? How should you guys come close?
I know a lot of average gamers might have a hard time with these areas, and you know, this is the kind of stuff to where
let's kill this echo.
You know, the game actively encourages you to find other people.
Okay, that's helping a little bit. Oh yeah, he's not too bad. He's not bad. He's hit me for like 20 something. I can live here for a second. Okay, let's leave. Oh god, I'm leaving.
One thing I've noticed is you really have to watch the skills because there's not a lot of active telegraphs on the ground. You have to watch what the mob is doing.
I knocked him down. Grabbing aggro. Aggro secured. I'm gonna knock him down again. Got him knocked again. Aggro is still secure.
With that spinning skill, this might be one time where actually the melee being behind the tank would work.
This area is tough.
Oh, bring it over to me. Bring it over to me. Oh, nice. Roots. Good roots. Knock some targets down. We got. Oh, okay. I'm ashes again.
That's because you're not using your active mitigation on top of it.
Guys, we swear we're good at our own game.
They swear, huh? They swear, huh?
I'm coming back up. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. We got one down.
Yeah, so a big part of the skill in this area that I do like and that we're not executing greatly on at the moment is your positioning and your navigation through the area.
Yeah, they're doing horribly at that.
It's really important to choose your poles wisely and the rest of the area.
Oh god.
I'm dead.
All right, you know what? This guy I think is just too powerful for us.
No,
Maybe
he's not.
Too strong. Maybe I need to let
guys need to
him
clear
reset.
stuff out better.
Let's let him reset just for a second. Audience, you get to watch us. You know.
Well, everything's respawned already.
We're taking the longer road, the road less traveled, some might say. Okay.
It released me.
I'm gonna resurrect.
This has a lot of vibes of like WoW Classic.
You will die. Do not speak to me with such insolence, Resonant. Lord Oakenbane, I call you forth to suffer the consequences of your actions. You are no longer necessary. He has been destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. And he had the Titan bark chestplate.
That's what he wanted, huh?
GG. I'm gonna grab some of these things, grab that. Ooh. Now, yet again, I do believe that I need this. This is some tank stuff. And let's see.
So is he gonna put on the helm and the shoulders that he had?
Did you get the legs?
Oh,
and there's a cloak as well.
I've got them. I think we might have had a little bit of round robin.
You grabbed the legs?
Yeah, well, you know, it was my turn on round robin, so.
Can you trade them to me?
I think so. I sent you a trade request. Did that work?
Oh, yep, I got a trade request. Yay! I will accept your trade request. I don't.
Item is not tradable. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
How did that happen?
Oh, it was a BOP item.
What are the names of those legs? Or where did we get them from?
We got them from this arborist named down here.
Let's go back to him real quick. And let me just murder him.
I don't think he's there.
Is he no longer there? Oh, did he not respawn?
Not yet, no.
Oh, that's sad. Well, let me see if I can grab them. What are the name of those? Real quick. Guys, I'm going to cheat just so you get to see the set.
I think Titan bark.
Titan bark?
Yeah. Does that pull up the legging?
Let me see. Give item Titan bark 1. Bark. No, it didn't do that. Let me see. Titan bark legs?
Yeah.
Done. And I
He's
now
giving us all the codes on how to just give ourselves gear, huh?
Now, just so you know, in the audience, we are recording this. It is 10:13 a.m. on Friday. We don't do any edits. You get to see this stuff in the raw, and that is why there sometimes can be bugs. Of course, we're still in testing, but you do get the idea, and you get to give us your feedback. So, with that being said, I am now going to equip all of the Titan bark in its glory. Ooh,
oh, that's like the same element. Hey, that looks pretty cool.
I like it. I like it a lot. Wow, look at that. Let me go run up here. This is not bad. I love the tree too. It's very cool.
You got significantly more tanky when you put that stuff on.
Oh, did I? Let me go test that real quick. Let me just pull one here real quick here. Okay, come on over, my friend. I feel slightly tankier. Oh, yeah.
Maybe now we can actually take the boss on.
Well,
they were fine with the boss. They just pulled a bunch of stuff like dummies.
For now.
For now.
And then he let that one guy go. I think Steven is like mainly like a caster or something.
I like it. That's very cool. I do love the grass getting manipulated.
Now my thing is, he just a basic tank, or is he like a double tank that was, what was it, like a Juggernaut, or? No, was it the Juggernaut? That was the DPS one. Was the Dreadnought or something like that, or?
Come to me.
I was actually curious about the tank that had the summoner one, because they're talking about you could like summon floating weapons.
Preview of the tank archetype for Alpha 2. Obviously, as we said, this is a work in progress. There are still a lot of things that need to be done, but this is an opportunity for you guys to give your feedback. How did you like the changes to the mace weapon attacks? How do you like the ability uses, the sound, the environment, the monsters, the hit effects, the hit reacts? Everything that you can think of. It's obviously so important. Oh my god. It's obviously so, I'm gonna move over here. It's obviously so important that you guys give us the feedback.
Well, the way the mace swings and hits is pretty cool. The impact on
and on YouTube, we appreciate it. And with that being said,
on how it shows like when you hit an enemy, the way they flinch or move and stuff, that could be better.
As well. You guys are doing awesome work. And with that being said, we will see you all back on stream. Bye, guys.
Cheers, you guys.
Yeah, because unlike New World, where each hit does not necessarily a stagger, but it affects them to where they, you know, can't just keep attacking like normal. In this game, you know, there's a little bit more of a little bit more of a sponge, and they can just keep casting their skills.
I tried to grab some of them as best I could, but of course, we won't get to everything today. But you know, if you have any other questions for us, or if you have thoughts, which I see a lot of thoughts from y'all,
two-hand tanking will be interesting too.
One regarding tanking and one regarding like UI and looting. So if you have thoughts on those things, definitely go give us a feedback over on our forums.
Like two-handed battle axes. My hand is a dwarf, and that's how I tank.
A lot of reports together
cross
for developers,
to block stuff.
And then we present those and we discuss them. And a lot of the times we're all on the same page. We're already thinking those things. So I'm going to go through some of the things that you guys had questions about here, which is first and foremost, there were a lot of concerns about threat. A lot of people didn't understand how holding threat works because you were holding threat at some points.
I know. Well, it's important to remember that these previews are done at a very low level, right? So these are low level skills and abilities that the archetypes have available to them. And so because of that, some of the functionality from these abilities, they don't necessarily perform as well as you would want them to in a later stage of the game for that role.
And you actually have to press them, Steven.
Now, Also, keep in mind that balance is a perspective that needs to be incorporated also. So threat is generated based off of a few factors. It's based off of damage done. It's based off of healing done. It's based off of threat generation modifiers that are on abilities.
And if
Now,
someone has that much
tank
threat,
in this situation, I believe, has
CC
two
him.
abilities that are going to generate additional threat. They have the slicing, the number 2 ability, and then they also have the shout ability. Both of those are creating additional threat.
Yeah, which you weren't using.
But with that being said, we need to tune probably those abilities up a little bit to contend with the DPS that's coming both from the ranger and with the heals that are coming out of the cleric.
All right.
I might want to test that a little bit more, though.
And the next questions here are in regards to
there might be a little bit of truth to that.
Will all classes be able to have active blocking?
But I'm like actively looking at skills right now. Yeah, he did use it once.
Because mostly we only saw you doing that when you got the shield afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So active block will not be as performant in mitigating the incoming damage with weapons that aren't using a shield. However, you will be able to active block with that currently as it stands in the design. And then the other question about active block was, I'm sorry.
It was the shield one, and the other one was, will all classes get active block? So it's like, can you active block without a shield? And then also...
Oh, so you can active block without a shield, and all classes can active block. It's a universal ability at the moment.
And then are there iframes in dodges?
Yeah, like blocking and dodge rolling?
We aren't using iframes for dodging. However, we are toying with the idea of a dodge increasing certain stats that are opposed checks, such as accuracy versus evasion, and potentially boosting mitigation depending on how the player might spec into certain passives that augment their dodge ability.
And then there were a lot of questions regarding UI stuff, but I'll start with the performance thing, which was people were saying that it was really cool seeing the grass get knocked down and stuff like that, but people are worried about like GPU drain, and they were curious if they'll be able to toggle that off.
Yeah, so there's a lot of bells and whistles that are intended on the client rendering side for these types of...
those are basic things. I would expect them to put that in their gamer.
That players will have the ability to scale up or down or off. From a
or they don't know what they're doing,
then,
which I don't believe is the case at all.
People are wondering if this video is with UE 5.1, because we've been talking about the fact that we are going to be swapping over to that.
Right. No, our 5.1 is not scheduled to be complete until probably another week or two. We're moving over to that.
So
5.1
is a big update. Cool.
Which is, will there be an auto loot option? A lot of people saw that you were manually looting things, and they were curious if there would be an auto loot, or they could have some kind of pet that would auto loot for them.
No, not a pet that can auto loot. However,
that's all those, like,
we are
Lost Ark
toying with
people.
the idea on the interact of double tapping or some other type of keystroke input that would not require you to interact with the loot container itself, but would just grab everything off of it. Especially if there's multiple loot piles within a proximity radius, they would have to be very close proximity.
That's always
radius.
a big.
You could double tap to interact with all those and pull them in.
And then there were a lot of thoughts on the nameplates and how it's kind of hard to tell mobs versus your party, because everything was like red. I know their nameplates aren't complete yet, but I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the direction of where that's headed.
Yeah, so nameplates really actually require a big refactor on our end that we haven't done yet. However, that is something that tech art and engineering, as well as our UX
That's one thing I was wondering, because one, you didn't see the
nameplates
nameplates half the time when he was looking at stuff too.
It's
what
a big
differentiates a normal mob from an elite
how we're going to
versus
be
a
able
boss,
to include those
rare.
nameplates with in-world obstacles in line of sight, as well as prioritizing and clamping their sizes and distances that need a bit of a refactor, and of course their visual appearance. So that's work that's still outstanding.
And I think that kind of ties in line with being able to tell like whether an enemy is an elite or not, and also just kind of different types of mobs.
Yeah, that's general UX treatment of the nameplates. That's going to include, which has already begun a little bit, but is going to include, as you said, those indicators like resistances, buffs that are present, whether they're elite or not. They'll have probably a star format to indicate that with their hit point allocation. There's a lot of treatments from a UX perspective that needs to be included in the artwork.
is their power level over 9,000? That's the question.
Right.
And then, of course, we have, will bosses look different than regular mobs, or is this kind of just a placeholder to show that, hey, you know, the boss in this area is a little bigger than the other ones, but they kind of look similar?
Oh, yeah. So it kind of depends on the types of bosses we're talking about, right? We have regional, we have hunting ground, we have elites, we
I
have,
mean, all these guys were clearly
bosses,
like
we have dungeon
part
bosses,
of, you
we
know,
have raid
their like
bosses.
wraith knights.
There's a lot of different types
and then
of creature
so
types.
unless you really want to make the boss
and
look
these in particular
you
are
know,
more really elite
more
spawns
glamorous
for this
or
location.
a
They're
flamboyant
not
or
really probably considered bosses.
you're
'cause
at
they
just
can be
more
handled by a
glamorous or
single party.
whatnot, then
But the rare spawns obviously have a longer respawn time.
then their gear
And so
didn't
sometimes you'll see that
necessarily look
they're
that much
scaled up
different.
from a size perspective, but most of the time you're going to see if it's a named mob that it's going to have a unique character appearance.
And then will there be range indicators for abilities? So for instance, like if I have an ability that can be used within X amount of meters, can I kind of see that as I'm using
Well, they already
it
showed that
versus,
on his grapple. It
you know, just
darkens
hitting it
out
and
and
then
then it
seeing when
lights
it does
up
it?
when it goes.
You mean from like
if I have a grapple that has like a range of
perfect.
60 meters, right? Can I see that
Yes.
distance
So
a
it
little bit more
depends.
obvious?
It depends. If it's a targeted ability, the indicator when targeting will tell you grayed out or not that the ability can be used based on distance. If it is a templated ability, which means it's a skill based use, you'll need to get a feel for those distances, and that's kind of, you know, some skill based learning where
Yeah, they don't want a thing to where it shows a line like, oh, this is 100
are.
meters.
Some of those will have template indicators, but they'll be very
yeah, that's more like the ranger skills. The first one is what he was talking about where with his grapple. You literally can't use it unless you're within range and it lights up.
Templates are meant to be kind of skill based.
And then when it comes to tanking, will it be primarily the tank archetypes that will be able to tank, or can other people tank?
No, I mean, other people can tank. It really depends on the setting, right? If we're talking like high-end raiding or dungeoneering and playing in these areas that require a main tank, that role and responsibility lies to the tank archetype. Now, tank archetypes can obviously take secondary archetype selections, and they can hybridize across different roles. That'll give them a bit of horizontal utility or horizontal progression to the augment system. And the best tanks are going to be the tanks that double down in that role. But you know, the game here is agency, player agency, and providing that.
Or the ones that can mitigate the best will be the tank one.
People want to use a wand and a shield, Steven.
Right. Well, I don't know about a wand and a shield. But yeah, no, it's something that is intending to allow players have agency over that.
And for those of you wanting to hear more about augments and stuff, we will be talking more about that in the future, so stay tuned. And then also people are wondering about how are you designing encounters around active blocking? Will it be situational use, or would I expect to be laying on my block keybind for most of the fight to prevent getting deleted by bosses? Kind of like they're wondering if the gameplay, because obviously seeing the gameplay right now, it's in its core loop, which is a little bit more simplistic.
Big combos or big hits.
Yeah, it depends really on the type of adversary you're facing. Some of them are going to have indicators or tells that a big attack is coming. It's an animation wind up where you'll have an opportunity to use active block in very unique situations that are.
I've only seen a little bit, but that is something that they'll need to focus on more.
Those incoming
the tells
attacks. In other occasions,
outside of just
you'll be able
learning
to use
exactly
it,
what a boss does.
Rotational cooldowns, or if you're waiting for a particular ability, or you know, you're during the use of your Aegis, right? There's different situations for when active block is a relevant use case.
Yeah. And of course, we are still in development. There's many things that will be changing along the way. So if you follow the journey, and if you've been following us so far, you've probably seen some very strides in what we've done, especially from Alpha 1 to moving towards our Alpha 2. But I think I'm going to wrap up the questions here. I know there are some forum questions that we'll do in the Q&A section. I just wanted to grab a few that I noticed were pretty vocal in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were a lot of comments about Steven's gameplay.
So I do want to comment on that real quick though. Just so you guys are aware, you know, I do take a certain persona when kind of showcasing this because, again, it is intended for an audience that's not core per se, but is, sometimes might be tuning in for the first time and seeing what the development of the game is all about. And, it's much more fun to be kind of a participant in that exploration rather than a recipient of knowledge and information if you're seeing it for the first time. So there's a bit of duality in kind of that streamer-esque persona. However, with that being said, what I want to do with this particular video is I want to upload a 4K version of it after the stream, but I'm going to re-record it because of the audio issues that we had. And I'm going to be a bit more descriptive and definitive in the demonstration so that, we can try that and see how that feels.
All right, that's good to hear.
But I would say that that'll take probably a couple of hours or so.
Yeah. All right. And we'll use some of our other equipment that we have now, which is exciting. So with that, we're going to head on over to look at character goodies. I always love the character art updates.
The big old art update.
So first and foremost, we have some really neat Cyclops goodies, which if you've been following along with us, you've probably seen that we are going to be showcasing some Cyclops action. And we've shown a little bit of the Cyclops over the months, if you kind of go back and look. But now we're showing you the weapons that are getting 3D modeled.
Oh, that's a big old bow.
Very cool. There's a variety of Cyclopses. Cyclopsy? What's the Cyclopses? It's the plural.
Cyclopi?
No, it's just Cyclops.
But
it's both single and plural,
really
right?
Cool looking.
Yeah, those look great. Who modeled these?
These ones were modeled by a variety. So the spear is Chris, and then Manny did the.
Well, I like how all their weapons, they're.
That looks great.
I wrote them down this time.
Just nature-based, but they're really simple. On purpose.
I was like, Steven's gonna ask, and I need to have the answer. Next up, we have the tank and hammer that you saw. Or the tank and hammer. The sword and hammer that you saw.
The tank and
Steven
hammer.
playing with the tank. Wow. In all their glory. Quite beautiful.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
And then I got a little teaser for you.
Ooh.
Teasing something that's coming up. But this is called, it's like our shield, our Carfin shield. That's not the full name of it, but that might tease a little bit of what might be coming.
Ooh,
Carfin.
Barbarian type gear.
And Danny worked on this one.
Looks great.
Looks very good. And then we've got, you guys have seen the Najash being worked on quite a bit, but this one is the Enforcer model. Looking pretty cool. And then we actually have the 3D turntable for the Shaman.
Swipe you? Oh,
which
wow.
I believe we showed the Shaman model in work in progress previously. But now you're seeing.
Love it.
The 3D.
They're going pretty crazy with trying to populate as many things as they can.
And then you also see their staff, which is awesome. I can't wait to see the animations for these.
Oh, yeah.
I loved seeing the animated armor today.
Well, that's one thing with the New World. They literally had with three main guys. They had the undead type guys, the corrupted, the animals,
bulldog,
and then the tree people.
Which Jincy worked on.
I love his little face.
I know. He's like a ram and a doggo had a baby.
Yeah.
But this one, we've already seen.
He's a bull goat.
Like more than like 7 or 8 different type of.
Very cool.
Enemy models outside of even the character models.
The Oak Stout.
They're really going crazy with just combining animals.
I know, they're going to be awesome. It's utterly adorable. And I know, I'm the worst. And then we've got our Risen Guardian, which is just disgustingly awesome.
That's nasty.
Nasty.
Okay,
this
that's pretty cool.
This is the mount that you want to ride into battle to scare your enemies.
Oh yeah, it probably has just an aura of rotting flesh. You need to make some will saves or fortitude saves when you get near it.
Imagine the stench.
This
is where we need like smell-o-vision. I'm just kidding.
D&D term.
And then we have some new stuff for you for Vec hairstyles. So brace yourselves. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, hairstyle.
So we're going to start with the Vec. This is a short hairstyle, little knobbin.
A top knot with
so good.
A little pipe thing for some extra hair.
I like the second ponytail that's going forward.
And then we've got
the reverse ponytail.
The mohawk plus some beard action.
Nice. Did we grab some reference images from Ri-Fi?
I don't have some reference images, but Ri-Fi does have a sick mohawk. He's one of our producers. And then we've got the long beard, which kind of reminds me of Zach's beard a little bit.
Zach, yeah.
Having all the different tattoos is kind of cool too.
And then, we got to rep. We got to have the ladies. So we have a short hairstyle for our Vec ladies.
Like a bob.
We will have many, many, many hairstyles, homies. So do not fret.
You can even see like the individual strands in it. So that's kind of cool.
And I think this next one's my favorite, but it's the long pony for the Vec.
Oh, yeah. That thing with that like little
I can cosplay
fastener.
I can't wait to see
that. I see that you see that a lot in.
Oh yeah, people are gonna be like, that better not be
like
going
Japanese,
into my clothing. Good luck with that, animators.
Like female combat gear and stuff that they had.
And that is the wonderful character art update. And always,
I wonder because you see all the different like stripes and dots and other tattoos.
But we do like to take bits and pieces
that'll be interesting
that are really
to see
cool.
how far you can take that.
And we do want to keep some things as surprises. So with that, we're going to swap over and do a little Q&A from the forums. If you submitted your questions, thank you so much. We super duper appreciate it. Actually, Steven, do you want to do like a quick studio update before we do Q&A?
Yeah, no, January has been an awesome month so far. Like I said, we started off pretty quick. We have, excuse me, we have some pretty ambitious hiring goals for this year. And I think you guys last year in the community have helped us spread awareness for the studio and for the project on all the socials. And of course, we've seen, as most of you are aware, some turbulent times in the tech industry in general, as well as across the games industry specifically. Intrepid
Twitter,
Studios is
Facebook,
We
Google,
can be a resource
laying
for those
off
individuals
thousands
who have
and
been
thousands of
impacted
people.
by those recent layoffs, and our heart goes out, of course, to all of them. If you know
there's
anyone
honestly
who's
just
been
a huge
impacted,
amount of
direct them to
waste in that industry.
where we have all of our current jobs postings listed, and make sure that they know there's going to be updates coming over the course of the next 30 to 60 days for additional positions that'll be listed as well. And of course, if you don't see a position listed,
just keep growing
or
and growing.
you know of someone who you think would be a great fit for the team and the project, you can direct them to just send in their resume, even without a position listed. So that's going to be good. And then in addition,
yeah, but I believe you have to work in California.
There's a lot of feedback that we need and that we share with you guys, especially in these updates. And the community team does a great job at collecting that feedback. So make sure that you guys are posting and giving us all your thoughts, because that stuff is very important, especially as we get into this year specifically, where we have a lot of things planned.
A lot of things.
A lot of things. So yeah.
A lot of things are happening. With that, we will go to our Q&A. Let's look through my run of show.
Hopefully, this big year will be a solid thing to where we might be like,
oh, no.
And here we come in a 2024 launch.
We'll chat a little bit about the Q&A. So the first
could you
question
imagine
here
end of
from our
2024 we actually
folks
get this game?
is from Cymex. We have a few that are actually tank related. So thanks, guys. You kept everything.
That's
a
the running
topic,
joke.
and then we
Is
have
this
some that
game
are
is
not. So we'll
always
start with the
2
tank
years
ones,
out? Doesn't
since
matter how
we
much
got it
time
on
that
our
passes.
mind right
This
now.
game's 2 years out.
The first one is about damage mitigation. Should a skilled tank be able to prevent all damage to their party, or should there be situations that no matter what your skill, the party will take some damage?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few ways that gets accomplished, both from an ability
unless you
creation,
have using like a ultimate skill
perspective with regards to the class kits and what they're capable of doing, but also in the encounter design and how we want to structure the AI and behavior tree of our monsters, not to be very simplistic in their engagement. So that is important. It's cool to, as a tank, have some control over the encounter, but it's also not cool if the control creates an entirely predictive gameplay loop. So, with that being said, excuse me, we want to introduce that element of chaos, because that makes things kind of fun and reactive. And reactive gameplay is skill-based gameplay, and that's a good thing to have.
All right. And the next question is
That's
from
good to hear.
Immortality. This is about general tank play. Will tanks have some form of stances to swap between that increases damage dealt at the cost of defenses?
Yes, so those are some hybridization options that should be available as part of the class kit. They can be further expanded upon with access to augment systems and depending on your secondary class choice. But again, the idea here is player agency. So we don't prescribe what that class fantasy or class role is. There's a lot of directions that players can take as part of that agency.
I still have this thought of wanting to have
skill trees,
like floating weapons with me with the summoning.
And then we've got damage
about.
and aggro from Super Waffle Fry. I like that name. And it's making me hungry. Tanks need to do two things: mitigate damage and hold aggro. How will tank weapons, shields, and armor balance these two dynamics compared to other gear sets?
Well, I think it does so in a few ways. I mean, obviously, stat composition and your itemization choices are important, making sure you're driving up your constitution-based stat allocation through selection of certain set bonuses and or stat modifiers. But in addition, a big portion of that is not just through itemization, but also through your skill tree selections. And, they don't have to be diametrically opposed. The ability to kind of garner additional threat is predicated on your rotational selection and how you are leveraging certain types of set bonuses that are catered towards that role specifically. So some set bonuses will have specific, very targeted benefits like additional threat generation. But in addition, if you're going to mitigate damage, you need to make sure you're focusing on your health pool. How much health pool do you have available to you? What type of damage are you mitigating? Because we have different types of damage mitigation from magic to physical. And that's predicated on who your opponent is, where your adversary lives. Both of those are viable strategies.
Right. And then we have Overficator, and they want to know about being unkillable. Will I be able to fulfill my fantasy of having a ridiculously large health pool at the cost of other attributes?
You will have significant agency over the allocation of your stat progression.
Well, what's that anime
yes.
called about the one girl?
Will be baked in
she
based on the
doesn't want to get hurt, so she puts everything into defense.
But a large portion of that will come down to your itemization selection, your selection of tattoos and other ancillary types of augments and or benefits you can apply to specific items, such as socketing.
You want to be like super armor, super health, no damage,
very
high aggro and CC abilities.
Tank, you can do that.
All right. The next one is PvP gameplay. And this one's from Nice Gaming, but not spelled like nice. What steps are being taken or considered to make the tank archetype viable in PvP engagements?
Well, there is a whole host of things that are taken. It's important to note that a lot of MMOs that probably many of us have played, PvP
CC
can feel like
down,
a slapped-on design
putting defenses on them.
And our approach
or maybe
is very
there's even
holistic
like active shouts or stuff that increase their damage, not just increase their
so when we're designing the class kits, we are making sure that mechanics and designs are
kind of like how what a paladin might do,
both in PvE settings as well as PvP settings. That's very important. There are also special mechanics like how threat is used in PvP, how taunts are used in PvP. Those things,
or if you taunt a guy, they'll do less damage to other people. I believe I heard him mention that
you
before.
don't have abilities that have no relevancy in PvE or PvP, but have some cross application.
All right. And then we've got the off-tanking, and this is from Sego. And they want to know, how will off-tanks remain useful in raids or dungeons when they don't need to tank for a specific fight?
There's a few cases in which off-tanks, of course, are relevant. I mean, when you're fighting in a dungeon, you have the occasional adds that come in. where a tank might be, the primary tank might be focused on keeping your group, your party's target aggroed, and the off tank has the ability to kind of hold aggro on ads until the main tank is finished with their target. In addition, you have certain types of abilities like taunts that are immediate redirects on threat without having to acquire or accrue the appropriate threat to hold that aggro, that can utilize those taunts situationally based off of the threats that are appearing to the party. There's a lot of, I mean, there's a broad scope of applicability that applies to these types of roles like off tank that I think are relevant and part of our overall kit designs.
And this next question is one I feel like many people internally have also talked about, which is Mayo. It's from Mayo Sotis, and they want to know about the name. Have you considered renaming the tank archetype?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have considered it. There are a few thoughts on that.
They chose all the cool names for
tank is a clear communicator.
The subclass
tank
type
name is a clear indicator kind of the role that is more common in our average MMO vernacular, right? Now, from a role play perspective, there are, questions about keeping that name in world, in lore, so to speak, and not necessarily adopting the vernacular that the community has adopted. I think those are valid concerns, and it's something I'm not diametrically opposed to reconsidering, but I would say an update on that is not coming in the immediate future.
All right. And then
that'll take like what stuff, universal name can they choose that would be?
Barab wants to know about naval
cool,
mechanics.
Like, huh?
Will there be a mechanic on ships that allow players to hire or install NPCs to control sails or fire cannons?
No, we don't have the concept of including the mercenary or additive NPC solution or as a mechanic on naval ships. They are elsewhere within the game, but not intended for naval ships.
And then Azare wants to know about siege summons. Will there be level restrictions on who can participate in the activation of these abilities, other than for the group leader?
For summons during sieges,
siege summons.
Are we talking about summoners? Or are we talking about?
He actually had his grid
siege
up
weapons
for a little bit
like
of that.
Vehicles.
Will there be level restrictions on who can participate in the activation of these abilities?
So if we're talking about vehicles and siege weaponry, that's agnostic of class kits. Those will be predicated on individuals who have the items within their inventory in order to summon them, and who are registered as part of, in the castle scenario, a registered guild, or in the node scenario, an attacker, a valid attacker. With regards to the summoner class and abilities that exist within class kits, those types of summons will require that the summoner is an active participant in the siege or in the node siege, castle siege or node siege, in order to utilize that ability. And then if we're talking about the group summons, then the group summons would be utilized solely by the party leader. So that's an activation that occurs from the party leader. The party leader has to satisfy having that ability as part of their class kit, and then having the necessary additive components from other classes that part of their group.
All right. And then Jamie Chaos wants to know about raid bosses. It was stated that raid bosses would change difficulty based on how fast a group was clearing them. If the raids are supposed to be open and not instance, how does this work, or do rooms lock once a boss is pulled? And this was something you had stated a long time ago.
Yeah. So raid bosses are aware of the number of combatants within an area in proximity to them. And that awareness is part of an indicator to which behaviors they're going to utilize as part of their behavior tree. So as it's assessing the types of combatants that are facing it, the number of those combatants, the position of those combatants, the abilities and life totals of those combatants, it weighs certain actions in its behavior tree, and then it acts on those actions. And in the scenario where you're bringing overwhelming odds to a particular fight, that might weigh heavier the AoE options that the boss has access to where they're utilizing a lot more AoE abilities during an engagement due to that overage of players. So in that sense, it's a bit adaptive. It's a bit dynamic based on the encounter scenario.
And you haven't really seen our full AI encounters yet. We're very much in our core loop state as we're showing this showcase.
Easier at the end as opposed to harder versus people that are like well-oiled
we don't see
machine.
that right now. It's because it's not. We're not showing that quite yet. And then Serena Venport wants to know about player housing, and this is our final question from the forums today. What limitation will we have with placing items we find in the world as decorations in our houses?
There is a few limitations. Some of those limitations are specific to the type of housing that you own. Some of those limitations are at the recipe and workbench construction point as well. Like you need to have the necessary components to make those things. Placing them, there is an allotment quota that's based on the type of housing. And there is a grade restriction based on the type of housing. So if you have a mansion in node housing, you can place the best furniture, right? And furniture has mechanical components.
Oh, really?
Right? Game mechanics associated with them. They're not just
can't put a throne in a hut.
In addition, there might be limitations around how many of a particular type of furniture piece or decor item you can place inside of a property. So you might only be able to place one of a certain type. So there's a few rules around that.
All right, and that's it. We wrapped it up. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, we've probably made some edits because we're going to re-record the gameplay section to showcase that a little bit better.
Did it show up on YouTube? Because I was looking at it
live with us, thank you for joining
us.
Looking at it
earlier, it didn't pop up.
And of course, as always, head on over to our forums.ashesofcreation.com. Give us feedback. We have Tank thread up there as well as a looting UI thread up there. So if you have thoughts, get them over to us. We always love seeing those. And as Steven mentioned before,
should probably be a little more active in that.
And we send them to the development team. And sometimes we have meetings regarding these. And it really helps us ensure that we're always on the same page. And usually a lot of the feedback that you guys have is stuff that we're already like, yeah, we want to move forward in that direction anyway. Or we're already working towards that.
Absolutely.
Which is nice.
Good validator. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. It validates that we're on the right track. And of course, we would love for you to check out our Featherstone Royal Expeditions cosmetics. They will be swapping over February 8th, 2023 at 11 a.m. So if you want those, grab them. And of course, thank you very much, viewers, for joining us.
That's why
and of course, to our lovely developers, Keenan, Trad, Brian, and Steven for showcasing our tank. And we hope that you all stay safe and healthy. We'll have a 4K video up on YouTube. We'll have the whole development video up on YouTube as well.
Yeah, outside of personal
one will come today, and the other one will
mitigation
and then of course on the development
skills,
update
I really
video,
hope
if
when
you
it
leave
comes
us
to
a
the
comment
tank,
and you subscribe, your
a lot more
comment could possibly be the lucky winner that will be showcased on our next development update next month.
The tank in a lot of ways is, you control the fight, you're the leader of the party most of the time.
And we'll see you guys all next month. Any last words,
so
Steven?
any support you can help outside of just mitigating is really nice.
As always, and of course we endeavor to present you guys.
It's one reason why I really like the Paladin in Final Fantasy 14 because its toolkit to assist the party is nice,
so
at least on the healing and defensive side.
Give us all the thoughts.
Yeah,
we'll see you soon.
We love seeing all your thoughts. So
yay!
We'll see you all next month.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Okay, well, I'll put that down. So, well, with that being said, I think, oh, that looks really cool. I'll leave it at that for now. I'm kind of glad that we got to see a bit more of an overview of the tank. We had mostly been seeing stuff based around swords or the great sword with the melee guys. So seeing the showcase of the mace, of how it can still be swung really fast, but the way it impacted was a lot different. I was saying before, I kind of like the idea of the impacts of weapons to show up more on enemies, but it looks like it might have more of a Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft feel, to where outside of maybe actively blocking and dodging, or active CC, then there's not a huge amount of like interruption or extra mob movement, and all that, like when you do attacks on them. Oh, that's a pretty cool set. So with that being said, like this is the type of guy I want to be right here, with like their armor. Like I think their armor and stuff looks really cool. It's awesome. So my next things is we're just gonna have to progress throughout the rest of the year. I'm chomping at the bit to see how the augments to skills and the secondary archetypes will really work, because that'll make me decide, do I really need to like, if I want to be a tank, like go tank, or will be going like a tank summoner, like I was originally thinking of in my head. Will I still be able to tank everything very efficiently? Yes, a double tank archetype build will be able to probably have the most health and the most mitigation, but if I'm facing off against the strongest dragon out there, can I still do that with like a secondary archetype being like a DPS, or even a support one like the cleric? So all we can do is wait patiently. I have a feeling not only with Alpha 2 coming this year will be a pretty huge push into trying to really fill up their game, and then I would not be shocked if they're really trying to push for a 2024 um, either early access, maybe release date, and all that stuff. Who knows? I have no idea if Alpha 2 is all we'll see this year, or if they'll actually push into Beta 1, because they're supposed to be Alpha 1 and 2, so we're already done with Alpha 1. Now we'll have Alpha 2. Will we get Beta 1 as well? Because they're supposed to have a Beta 1 and a 2 as well, which I think a lot of people will especially be in the Beta 2, because that was the one, I think it was like $90 or something to be in, and then that's literally open up to everybody, to where the game is mostly fleshed out and they're doing a lot of stress testing and bug fixing by that point. So for anyone who stopped on by, I hope you had a good time seeing what they've progressed with, and we'll see how they further progress the character and class development on top of all their other systems. So for now, I'll see you later, and just be on the lookout. There's a small chance I might be going back live again later tonight in Final Fantasy. I'll see if I can actually swing that one. So you guys take care. Be sure to like and subscribe over on my YouTube. And then, of course, watch my Twitter to see when I go live next and any updates I have there. Peace.